The rain fell in fat, heavy drops, drenching the dusty roads of the outskirts of Enugu. Children scrambled into doorways. Traders packed their goods. But one figure didn't move. A boy. No shoes. Soaked clothes. Barely more than skin and bones. Maybe 14? Maybe 16? He stood outside a faded yellow bungalow, with his arms wrapped around himself, trembling. Inside the house, Mama Ifeoma, a widowed seamstress in her late 40s, sat hand-stitching a client's dress under dim light. She had the weary grace of someone who had lost more than most, but still carried herself with dignity. Suddenly, she looked up. A shadow moved outside her curtain. She stood, opened the door. There he was, dripping, shaking, eyes wide with fear and something else. Guilt? "Who are you, boy?" she asked. The boy didn't answer. He just whispered, "Please, I haven't eaten in 2 days." Mama Ifeoma gave him hot yam porridge and a wrapper to dry off. "What's your name?" she asked. Silence. She tried again. "You have parents?" He shook his head. "They're gone." "Where do you stay?" "Nowhere." She sighed. "I'm not richo, but I can offer you food and chores. If you cause trouble, you go." He nodded fast. "Yes, ma. Thank you, ma." She watched him eat like he hadn't seen food in a week. There was something about his eyes. Too old for his face. Too heavy for his body. In the hallway, a framed photo of a smiling young man stood on the table. Mama Ifeoma glanced at it with pain in her eyes. Her only son, Chinedu, had been murdered 2 years ago in a street robbery. No arrests, no justice, no peace. The case was cold, buried under police bureaucracy and pain. She hadn't opened up to anyone since. The boy started helping around the house. He never stole. He never raised his voice. He cleaned, fetched water, and even offered to carry sewing deliveries for Mama Ifeoma. Still no name. She started calling him boy or onye, which means someone in Igbo. One day, while he was sweeping the yard, a group of teenage boys passed by. "Hey, cripple," one of them shouted. Boy froze. "Who you dey hide from?" another laughed. "We know your face." Mama Ifeoma came out. "Get away from my house, you—" A month later, while cleaning Boy's sleeping mat, Mama Ifeoma found a small pouch under the pillow. Inside, an old SIM card and a rusted keychain with the letters CN. Her heart dropped. Those were her son's initials. That night, Mama Ifeoma stared at the old keychain, CN, Chinedu Nkemekonam. She hadn't seen that keychain in years. It was a birthday gift from her to Chinedu. He wore it every day on his school bag. Her fingers trembled. Boy was asleep on the mat, peaceful, or so she thought, but inside, he was wide awake, staring at the wall, knowing that keychain had fallen from his bag that morning. The next day, Mama Ifeoma watched Boy closely, the way he avoided her eyes, how he clutched his side when startled, the way he flinched at the sound of sirens. She went to the local church, spoke to Reverend Amos, a longtime family friend. "I don't trust myself," she said, tears in her eyes. "I feel something is wrong with this boy." Reverend Amos frowned. "You say he had no name?" She nodded. Nothing. Just fear. The Reverend leaned in. There's a rumor about a boy who vanished after a street killing. They say the killer was young and hasn't been seen since. That night, while Boy went to buy pepper, Mama Ifoma inserted the SIM card into her old Nokia phone. It lit up. She scrolled through saved numbers. One caught her eye. Mama G. She hesitated, then called. A woman answered. Elderly. Drunk. "Who is this?" she croaked. "I found this SIM card. I think it belonged to your son?" There was a pause. Then, "If that bastard has that SIM, tell him to rot. He brought nothing but shame. He left blood on our family." The line went dead. Mama Ifoma's heart dropped into her stomach. When Boy returned, she stood at the door. "Sit down," she said, cold. Boy looked confused. She placed the keychain on the table. "Where did you get this?" He said nothing. "I said, where?" Still nothing. Then finally, "It was a mistake." "A mistake? My son died for that mistake." His eyes widened. She stepped closer. "You killed my son, didn't you?" Tears formed in his eyes. "I didn't mean to. Say it." He collapsed to his knees. "It was a street fight. We tried to rob him. I didn't know. I didn't mean to stab him that deep. He was scared. I was scared." Silence. "I ran for 2 years until I saw your face, and it haunted me." She grabbed a broom handle, raised it, but froze. He was weeping on the floor like a child. Just a boy, not a monster, not a demon, just broken. She dropped the broom, fell to her knees. Tears burst from her like a storm she'd held back for years. The next morning, she took him to the police. He didn't resist. He didn't beg. He only said one thing. "Thank you for letting me feel like a son, even for a little while." Mama Ifioma visits a juvenile correction facility. Boy sits behind a glass window. She brings him banana bread. They speak. She smiles for the first time in months. "I hated you," she says. "And then I forgave you. Not for you, for me," he cries. "You saved me," he whispers. "No," she says. "You gave me the chance to be a mother again." Sometimes the heart sees what the eyes can't. Mama Ifioma opened her door for a stranger and found herself face to face with her greatest pain. But in her pain, she found something the world is desperate for. Grace, forgiveness, closure. Because even in the shadow of death, sometimes love still finds a way to speak. If this story touched you, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Echo Tales for more powerful African stories. Tell us in the comments, could you forgive someone like that? Or would you turn away? Until next time, remember, real stories don't always have happy endings, but they always leave a message. Echo Tales, where every tear tells a truth.